Avatar. The movie Avatar is a 2009 American epic science fiction movie that destroyed its competitors at the box office, becoming the highest grossing film of all time and maintaining its status until the release of Avengers Endgame. However, a theatrical re-release brought Avatar back to first place, grossing a huge amount of money, about 2.84 billion. Here Total Recaps is with you to explain the marvelous story of the movie Avatar. The story starts in 2129 where the earth was destroyed in many ways. The population here has increased 3 times. And now the food and drink are about to end, all the types of resources started to end. But still the technological phase kept moving forward. In 2129 the travel resort became much faster, but to run them, much energy was needed. That's why they used to have unobtainium metal that is used to generate energy on Earth, but not exist on the Earth. Then we see the lead character of the story named Jack Sully, who is disabled with his feet. He was not like this before. He used to be a soldier of 19 army. He also had a twin brother named Tom Sully and also called Tommy. Basically, Tommy was a scientist at RDA company that called Resource Development Administration. The basic work of this company was that brings the unique unobtainium metal for their energy resource. But one day some gangsters has murdered Tommy for a bit of money. Now that a lot of money from that company which was on Tommy was also going to waste. That's why the company thought to use his twin brother in this operation. Then they went to him and told him that some people have killed your brother, but his company was costing him a lot of money. If you want, you can take the place of him, because your body structure and the DNA you have that matches very much with your brother, which is very useful for us. If you support us, we will give you a good life as well as a lot of cash. Listening that, Jack agreed with them on this matter. From here the story moves forward 5 years, 9 months and 22 days. In these 6 years, Jack was sleeping in a hypersleep at the spacecraft, but there is no effect on Jack's body. And his age was same like before in the Earth. There are many more soldiers like him, who were prepared to come to Pandora for money, regardless of their lives. As soon as all the soldiers land on Pandora, their seniors say that here Pandora's air can kill you. So you will have to keep a mask on your mouth at all times, because the density here is 30% less, which will become a life risk for all of you. Then Jack arrived in a Pandora conduction room where we see the terrible factor of the story, like villain whose name was Colonel Quaritch. He was giving a speech to all the soldiers that I am a soldier and I have participated in 10 more big military campaigns before today. But till today I did not get any strike of a bullet. But as soon as I came here Pandora, I was injured as a new soldier. Pandora is not exactly the same here as you thought. The nature of climate here as well as the creation here is totally different from the Earth. If you want to stay alive, then you have to follow me. It's my job to save your lives and you will end this campaign. I will not be able to save more people. So you all have to support me to survive on this Pandora. Then Jack meets Norm, who is a scientist, and his job is that by becoming an avatar, it is found in those people of Pandora itself. People of Pandora are imagined as prophets, that is created by creating an avatar mixing the DNA of Pandora and Earth people, which is from the Earth itself. Making Pandora cost a lot of money, and this was the main reason that replaced Jack in the place of Tom Sully, because his DNA matches very much with his brother. Then Jack met with the leader of all those scientists, whose name is Grace Augustine. Grace has been with the Pandora's people for a long time and used to teach them to read, write as well as their language. But when she saw Jack in their team, she had been very angry because she does not need a naval soldier, but she needs a scientist. Tom was a scientist and he had practiced many years to come to the place. But a person has been brought to his place who is definitely a naval and does not have any knowledge at all. So Grace reached out to the head of the entire campaign named Parker and tells him that, "Why did you surprise me? Even he is not a scientist." Then Parker tells her that they already spent much money in the campaign, and our main work is to get the unobtainium metal, that is a stone whose 1 kg is equal to 100 billion in the world. The cost of this operation, as well as your scientific research and the spend for everything, comes out of that stone. And it is a good thing that the naval will be with you, because he has all the knowledge that a real soldier should have. If you are in any trouble, he can help you, because the people here do not understand you. Although Grace is against it, but she agrees. And then they started the Avatar's transformation with Jack's body, that he is put in a hypersleep. And then his mind is connected with his avatar. And as his mind is connected with his treatment, he goes to look at himself. He becomes absolutely blue and his size increases much more than humans. He gets total 3 meters length. He tries to stand but stumbles, and the scientist asks him to sit there. But now Jack has come close to his real legs, with the help of which he can walk again. That's why he cannot handle his happiness, and he gets out of the lab. Everyone tries hard to stop him, but he does not express the joy of getting his new legs, and therefore run away from there. Then it is known to him that is unbelievable, because it has never been realized before. And we also get to know what the avatar is. When the human body is in hypersleep, it remains. If the other person wakes up, his treatment falls asleep and has to go back to hypersleep to awaken the avatar. One day Quaritch called Jack and told him that, "I had asked your records and you are a very promising soldier. When I checked your record, I came to know that you have also done a big campaign, but you lost your legs. Do you want to make a deal with me?" Then Jack asked, "What kind of deal is it?" Quaritch told his plan that he wants Jack to remove them from their place and collect the information of the unobtainium metal, and also said that, "I cannot change the mind of those scientists, but you are a soldier. You will understand my point. Your job is to meet the Pandora's people and understand their language. When you find the unobtainium metal resources, then remove the people from the place, so that I can send my people for mining to collect the metal from the ground. In return, I will give your legs back." Then Jack confirms the deal with him for the offer. The next day, Jack is taken out on a tour of Pandora, where a brilliant world is now in front of him. Everything is absolutely green and green. Pandora seems everything very good looking at this world. Then their helicopters lands on the ground, and the scientist leader Augustine says that, "We came here to take some ground samples and to find out how this tree talks to each other. There is an electromagnetic field between them that keeps them connected with each other." When both of them are taking some samples from there, Jack saw some beautiful plants. But when he touches the plants, all the plants present there are hidden and closed. But it was a great mistake for him. That's why Pandora's unicorn appears in front of him, and he is scared, so he tries to escape from it. Then he asked Augustine that, "What will he do now?" Augustine says that, "The unicorn will not harm you, just by stand there where you are." Jack thought it might attack on him, but he stands silently. And when the unicorn comes near to him, it automatically scares away in front of him. Then the unicorn went away from him. As he turns back, he saw there a Pandora's leopard, which is very dangerous. He tries to escape. He asked Augustine, "What do I do now?" Then Augustine said that, "Run as fast as possible." And he runs to save his life. There he uses the bushes of the trees to hide in between them. But that leopard was so much smarter and faster. It destroys every place where he is hiding. Jack fires on it, but a moment comes that it snatches the gun from it. Then he escapes from there and reaches near a waterfall and jumps from there. That's why the leopard cannot catch him. Then Jack separated from the people. As he is a soldier, he knew the way of living in the forest. So he first prepares a weapon by the woods to protect himself and starts looking for a good place to spend the night. Then the other one keeps an eye on him, and who is a hunter named Niteri is about to shoot his arrow at him, but only then Pandora's holy soul reaches there, and she tries to stop her arrow when she sees that the holy soul has chosen her. She turns her bow down and does not shoot him. It becomes slowly night, and then Jack inside tries to come forward, "Who wants to fight me?" And then the dogs start attacking on him one by one. Jack tries to defend, but when a big and ferocious dog comes in front of him, Niteri arrives there to save Jack, and they both remove the dogs from there. But in the meantime, a wild dog is injured. Then Niteri killed the dog to relieve it from its pain, and at the same time she prayed to God for peace of its soul. Then Jack says thanks to her for saving his life. But Niteri told Jack that, "Stay away from me and do not talk to me. Everything has happened because of you, and I had to kill the animal for you." Then Jack said that, "The dogs first attacked on me. If you cared so much about this dog, then why did you help me?" Niteri said that, "I helped you because the Holy Spirits choose you." And in a while, a lot of Holy Spirit goes there and sits on his body, due to which the wounds inflicted on his body, it slowly starts increasing. They're quite nervous. Then Niteri said Jack to go with her. Jack starts following her. But then the people of Niteri's clan come in front of her and said that, "Who is it? We should present him in front of our king as soon as possible." And then they take him to their king, whose name is Itukan, and his wife is also the queen, whose name is Moat. They both asked Jack that, "What is your motive to come here? The sky people are not allowed to come here." Then Jack said that, "I'm not one of them." The leader said that there was a woman named Grace came here before, and she teach all of us. She had make us understand your language. But some people who wanted our bad, they fired on us. They did us harm and stole our stone. Do you come for that?" Then Jack said that, "I'm not like you, and I want to be like you. I want to learn your education and the magnificent way you hunt. Will you make me like you?" After realizing, the king Itukan agreed to make him like them and gives the responsibility to Niteri to teach him everything that the Ometic should have learned. First, they make him wear a dress of them, and after that they feed him. Then he sleeps inside a big tree. When he sleeps, he wakes up inside his human form. Everyone surprised because it was too difficult to survive there even 6 hours. But he is still alive till the night. Everyone asked him that, "How do you stop there? After all, what did you do there?" Then Jack shared his entire experience. He said that the king and the queen there now allows me to be like them. This makes the whole team so happy. Then Quaritch called him and said that your work is not to stay with them. Your job is to alert the people to empty the tree as soon as possible, cause you have very little time. We want to start mining, and if those people do not listen to me, then I have another way too. I have to make them live through our guns. But Jack said that don't do that. Now I am doing to be one of them, because he is teaching me his customs. If you give me a chance, I will win their trust and make them understand to leave the tree. So you give me the time and let me do my work. From then Jack started staying with the Ometic and learn a new thing every day, like the way they hunt, swinging from the big trees, their eating system, and the way they talk with each other. Gradually his legs started getting stronger day by day. Then Nithiri take him to horse riding, cause it is very important to learn horse riding to become one of them. She said that you have to choose your horse and ride on it. Mix his little one with yours, due to which the two of you will be united in mind. Hearing this, Jack sits on the horse and tries to add his mind with the smallest of his two. But that horse goes and fell under the ground. Seeing this, everyone starts laughing at him. Then the turn comes of the real test, where one navy has to choose his dragon which is about to fly. Each person can choose only one dragon in his life, and that be ready right now. When both of them have one mind, then you can connect with it. Jack asked, how do I know that it has chosen me? Nithiri said that it would like to kill you. Hearing this, Jack used to wake up in his mind and try to choose only one out of all those dragons. Many dragons run away and many of them scare him away. But finally, one dragon tries to kill him. Then Jack realizes that this is the one who has chosen me, and now I have to grow my relationship with him. Then he tried to connect himself with the dragon, and finally he gets the dragon connected. Then Nithiri said that you have to make your first flight to make your relationship stronger and jump without any scare. Then make your first flight with fun. Then we see a very iconic scene of the movie where Jack takes his first flight. Later his relationship with Nithiri grows up. They both live together and do everything with together. One day when both of them are flying in the sky, there comes the biggest dragon named Turuk Maktoum that falls after them and tries to kill them, but both of them jumped into the forest to save their life and tried to get out from the middle of the big bush and trees, but the dragon still chased them. At the end, Jack used his military skill. He emerged from the middle of a tree whose trunk was very thick. That's why the other dragon cannot get out of there, and it went away. Then Jack asked, what was that? Nithiri told that only 5 people ride the dragon in our history. It is the most dangerous and the biggest dragon. All bow down to its strength. Only he can rule here who run the dragon. It was happened only 5 times in our Ometic history. On the other hand, Jack was also recording all of these things in his recorder, because the RDA needs all the information, that what Pandora's people do, what they eat, drinks, and what is the difference between the Pandora's people and the human. Gradually the time moves forward, and now there is a time came when the tribe of the Ometic people are ready to include Jack with them. Then they welcomed Jack as a new soldiers of them, as per their rituals. And it seems that Jack is one of them now. Then Nitiri takes Jack to a place called the Eva Goddess Tree, where there are many creepers with whom she could connect and talk to her ancestors. Then she said that when a soldier passes all his test, the goddess also gives him a bone. She said that now you can choose your own wood from within me and make a bow, and at the same time you can choose a woman from all of it. It depends on you. Then Jack said her that I have already chosen you. There we see a romanticism sense between them. But in between all these things that Jack forgot, already 3 months have been completed. The next day, when Jack sleeps, he learns that the team of Quaritch has attacked on them and tried to remove the people from the tree, with his big machine and tank. But Jack did not want that, cause these trees here are the home of those people. If that tree is removed, then there is no place for them to live. Then after climbing on his machine, Jack starts breaking its camera, but Quaritch removed him from his hypersleep and locks him in the prison and locked him in the prison for his behaviors against them. And using helicopters, they attacked together with the missile, due to which the entire tree now falls on the ground. The whole forest catches fire, and they are left homeless from their home. Many people died too. For that, Chris and Jack became so angry, but could not do anything, because they too is now in prison. Then another soldier reached there and removed them from the prison. He said that we have very little time to do something. We have to set up our mission on one of Pandora's swinging mountains, where we can keep all that hibernation sleep, so that both of you can convince them that they should leave this place, because the mining work is going to start here. If it does not happen, then many innocent people will be killed even. By the time they both reached there, but it was too late, cause their entire forest fired in, and it was blazing. All of them had become homeless. That's why they are very angry on both of them. Then they said that if you had not been there, then it would not be happened to us today. If you had not met with humans, our innocent people wouldn't be die. Then Jack said, I am not with the sky people, but with you. Then a Navy who was going to be Nitiri's husband became so angry, and then there was a strong fight started between them. After the fight, Jack said that I can prove myself for you, and I will come back for it. Then he went from there and reached the most dangerous dragon in whose strength everyone ruled by. Then Jack made his relationship with it, because if he does it, then the Navy will have confidence in him again. And then a moment comes when Jack stopped himself with the dragon in front of the people of Pandora. There everyone also surprised to see him, and all of them bowed down in front of him according to their history. Then Jack said one of them that, I need you. Are you with me? Jack took his help to give a motivational speech in their language, that they have guns as well as very big robots and lots of airplanes with a big missile, which against we cannot face them. But we have courage, strength and passion. We will face them. We will not back down from them. We also expect from all the Ometic one by one, and will join with us to protect ourselves from the human. We will ask for help from the soldiers who can fly in the sky, all the creatures who live inside the ground, and we will tell the sky people that they should back to at the place wherever they can from. Otherwise their condition would be bad. The speech truly motivated them, and everyone gets ready to help him. and goes to fight against the human beings. Then Jack went to Eva Goddess and he says that I know that we all do not have enough to defeat humans because our weapons are nothing in front of their weapons. I know you are able to help us. Will you help me? Then Nitari came there and said that it is useless to ask for help from it because it cannot listen to him. Then Jack said, what does into asking for help? The next day, Quaritch soldiers are ready to destroy that tree with huge ammunition. But there is another two. Jack is ready with his entire team to help them to face him. The whole Pandora has come forward with their different abilities to help him. The attack begins and then we see the most iconic fight of this movie, where both teams try to dominate each other. The Ometic's big dragons fall heavily on the helicopters of the other soldiers. They burst all the helicopters. On the other hand, all the soldiers on the ground started firing on all those Ometic soldiers because they have only spear arrows with them. And due to this, they are not able to face the bullets, and one by one were dying. Then they raised the Pandora's leopard to help them, which is not affected by bullets, and it went one by one to blow up all the soldiers who came in front of him. Then Nitari understood that their Eva Goddess listened to Jack's prayer, and she called all those people who could help. That's why every soldier went out of their way. On the other hand, Quaritch wanted to complete his revenge. He thought that Jack had betrayed us. I was not going to leave him anymore. And he finally comes inside his robotic arm and he starts confronting him. He tried to kill him. At the same time, Jack also attacked on him and broke his helmet from his robotic arm so that he cannot breathe out. But Quaritch still started facing him with his oxygen mask. At the same time, Nitari reached there and she killed Quaritch with the arrow directly in the heart. On the other hand, Jack was too much injured and could not breathe. That's why Nitari went to the lab and gave an oxygen mask in his real body due to Jack's life was saved. Finally, they won the war where the all Ometics got their life. And then the humans also started abandoning them. But some people who are good at heart will also be with us. Then Jack recorded final video where he said that I'm going to leave my human body now. The people of Pandora are waiting for me and I do not want to go late in my celebration. Within the end of this movie, we came to know that Jack has got his real body transferred inside the avatar with the power of Eva Goddess. Within the end of this movie, we came to know that Jack has got his real body transferred inside the avatar with the power of Eva Goddess tree. Here the movie ended with its marvelous story. I think I am able to give you the basic review of the movie. The second part of the movie named Avatar The Way of Water coming soon. Stay with us to get the explanation of the second part. If you like our video, please subscribe for get more.